Hello, my name is Ramani Seetham Raju, and I am in the Creating a Meaningful Life class. So to start off this bucket list video, I want to say what my personal mission statement is for life, and that is to live without any regrets. So at the end of my life, I don't want there to be anything that I regret not doing. I want to follow all my dreams and pursue at least a little bit of all of my passions. So to begin my bucket list off, we're going to start with the first item. The first thing on my list is to graduate from law school at NYU. So, since I was a little kid, being a lawyer has always been my dream. I've always been interested in law and the legal field. My father is actually an alumni from NYU, and so this is why the first time I went to the campus, I completely fell in love with the city. I fell in love with the campus itself, and so this has been my dream school since I was younger as well. The second item on my bucket list is to get married. I am a person that loves love, and I love to love, so finding someone that I can spend the rest of my life with, my soulmate, my partner, is a very big goal of mine. Number 3 on my bucket list is to have kids. In addition to being with the love of my life for the rest of my life, I also want to make our family bigger and help raise kids in the world that don't have homes already. Number 4 on my bucket list is to have my own law firm. So going off of graduating from law school and starting my career, I would like to eventually one day have my own law firm. I feel like that would be peak success for me, and that is a very important goal of mine. Number 5 on my bucket list is to become a foster mom. So in addition to having my own kids after they grow up and go away to college, I would love to become a foster mom because there are so many kids out there in the child protection system that don't get put in good foster homes and get abused in their foster homes, and I would like to just create a welcoming and loving home for these kids so that they can grow up with good values and supported by good people. Number 6 on my bucket list is to rescue an abused or injured animal. My dream job originally is to become a vet. Unfortunately, I am severely allergic to all types of pet dander across the board, so this is not possible for me. So instead of pursuing that, I would love to help rescue abused or injured animals because I feel like these animals deserve a better home than the one they're getting. Number 7 on my bucket list is to buy my first house. So I think this is a very important milestone in life because buying your own house will give you a sense of independence. It means you're financially able to support yourself, and it's very useful for starting a job and starting a family and starting your life in this house. So number 8 on my bucket list is to learn how to make creme brulee. So since I was younger, that creme brulee has been my favorite dessert ever. I love the texture of it, and I love how elegant and delicate that it looks, and so I would love to learn how to make it to the best possible ability that I can. Number 9 on my bucket list is to stop using plastic water bottles. I'm actually a very big consumer of plastic water bottles. I never really invested in a water filter or reusable water bottles because I would always lose them, so plastic water bottles were the solution for me. However, I do realize that they severely damage the environment, and they're a waste of resources that could be put to something way more useful. So I would just like to stop using water bottles to be better to the environment and better to myself as well. Number 10 on my bucket list is to learn how to ride a motorcycle. I think that riding a motorcycle is just an extremely efficient way to get around in traffic. I think that it looks awesome, and it also is better for when you're trying to save time going somewhere. Number 11 on my bucket list is to learn how to play the guitar. Currently, I do know how to learn to play the piano, but growing up, my brother was always the one that would play and practice guitar, and I always loved listening to acoustic versions of songs, and playing guitar and learning these chords and being able to play those chords myself is really important in learning how to make music myself and how to express the acoustic side of music. Number 12 on my bucket list is to go skydiving. This is a plan that me and my mom have had since I turned 18. I'm currently almost 20 years old, So I would like to follow through on this plan and create this wonderful memory with my mother. Number 13 on my bucket list is to get a tattoo. So this is a really big one for me because tattoos are a big deal. They are on your body forever, and whatever you get, I feel like should be meaningful to you in some way. I haven't yet found something that is meaningful to me like that in that way, but once I do, I want to get it tattooed on my body so that I can be inspired by it and motivated by it every single day when I look at it. Number 14 on my bucket list is to visit Auschwitz. So this is a very big one for me because I'm really into history and I love traveling Europe. I've been to Europe twice already. I went to Europe this past spring break actually, but I did not get to go to the part of Germany that Auschwitz is in. Since I love learning about history and I love being in places that have a lot of historical events that have happened there in the past, I think that this would be a very good place and a very educational place for me to attend next time I go to Europe. Number 15 on my bucket list is to hike Mission Peak in 2 hours. So I have hiked Mission Peak twice before. However, both times when I hiked Mission Peak, it lasted me 4 to 5 hours each time in one trip. Mission Peak isn't a very difficult hike. However, I am just very physically unfit and I don't do a lot of cardio, so it was hard for me to gather the stamina to complete this trip in a timely fashion. So once I get my hiking time down to 2 hours, that's how I know I will be physically fit, and that will be a way that I can gauge that for myself. Number 16 on my bucket list is to learn how to ride a horse. Growing up, I had a lot of friends that actually loved riding horses and lived on farms with horses, and they would do it every day or every other day, and so it was always something I wanted to learn how to do. People always told me that I was too tall to be a jockey because I'm 5 feet 10 inches, which definitely too tall to be a jockey, but I think it still would be a very cool skill to have to learn how to ride a horse. So number 17 is enjoy a natural hot spring. So I know there's a lot of them located in Taiwan and places in Europe and the Middle East, and I think not only will that be a very good opportunity for me to travel over there, but enjoying a hot spring would be something that would be unique to the culture over there and unique to the type of hot spring that they offer in that area. Number 18 on my list is to start a personal life blog. So, I love to write, and I especially love to write about myself, so I think that starting a personal life blog about the way I lead my life, how I stay positive, how I deal with different things that come my way in life, and all the different recipes and new things I learn, I think that that would be a very good way to share with everyone else things that might be able to help them, and also a way for me to keep track of my life and keep track of my personal progress as a person. And number 19 on my bucket list is to attend an opera. This past spring break when I was in Europe, as I mentioned earlier, I actually attended Swan Lake the Ballet. This inspired me to want to attend more classical forms of entertainment, the opera being one of them. I know a lot of people have said that they are extremely hard to sit through just because people nowadays don't really have the focus that it takes to sit through an opera, but I love to sing. And I think that watching someone with that much talent, because opera is very hard to be trained in, I think that talent would be magnificent to see in real life, and a person that can do that would be amazing to meet. Number 20 on my bucket list is to go to a Ransom Riggs book signing. He is the author of my favorite book, which is right here. It's called Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I read this book when I was a freshman, sophomore in high school. It is now going to become a trilogy. This book really resonated with me because it's about a bunch of children trying to figure out their way in this world that they don't really know about. And that was how I felt at the time. So I would love to meet the author of this book, and I would love to tell him about how much that I love his book. Number 21 on my bucket list is to learn how to make balloon animals. So it seems kind of like a useless skill to a lot of people, but I think it would be really fun to whip out whenever there are balloons. I think that it's a really cool and unique thing that not a lot of people know and know how to do. And I personally love balloon animals. As a child, getting them at parties was my favorite thing. Number 22 on my bucket list is to give out more love than you do criticism. I tend to sometimes get in a mood where I have a very negative outlook on life, and so instead of criticizing myself and other people for looking at life that way, I want to love more and show them how love, and myself, how love can really overpower all the bad things in the world. Number 23 on my bucket list is to become comfortable singing in front of an audience. So growing up in high school, I was in musicals. I was also in the choir program at my school, but I was always very scared and very nervous, timid, and shy of performing by myself in front of people. Therefore, on a couple of these solo performances that I have done in my life, I've broken down in the middle, at the end, or even at the beginning because of nerves, and I haven't performed as well as I have wanted to. So becoming more confident in myself, becoming more confident in front of other people will really help me to perform and get across the meaning and the message of the song that I'm singing to this audience. The 24th thing on my bucket list is to establish and maintain a skincare routine. So I am notoriously bad for doing this. I honestly just get too lazy at the end of the day to wash my face, and I just fall asleep because it's easy, and me being a lazy person naturally makes it easy. So I just want to take better care of my skin. I don't want to age early. I want to look youthful and young for as long as I possibly can. And I think that this would be the first step in doing that for me. And finally, the last thing on my bucket list is to become vegan. So I'm actually pretty much mostly vegan at this point. The only animal product that I do consume is chicken, and that is for dietary needs and necessity only. I just really do not like the thought of animals losing their lives because I think they're tasty. I think that animals should have more rights than that. I think that it's cruel and they get treated very badly, especially in places where animals are being bred specifically for slaughter and specifically for human consumption. I just think it would be more compassionate for the animals and very non-violent for everyone in the world to be vegan, and it would be better for the planet. So that concludes my bucket list. Hopefully I complete all of these in the span of my life. I'm still very young, so I have high hopes. I'm very motivated to do all of these things, and some of these are even passions that I'm following currently and would just love to get better at. So thank you for taking the time to watch my video, and I hope you have a very great day and we all finish our bucket lists.
I say I'm too late, got nothing